What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another Black Desert video. So every few months I feel like I want to go energy hunting, ecology hunting, and just boosting my overall energy. I think the cap right now is 732, 733 or something. But yeah, so I wanted to go over like things that I do, how you guys can start doing it as well, because it's kind of overwhelming, especially to people who, are just starting. And also, one thing that also, motivated me was ever since they raised the amount of silver you can get daily through knowledge and family fame and everything, I kind of wanted to push this one up a little bit, so the special fame. And let's talk about this. So with that said, I'm going to be talking about how to get more ecology or knowledge, and then some buffs that I used, as well as energy pushing. So yeah, let's talk about this. In your menu, I would say from top to bottom, probably the easiest one to do and get all the energy for is basically just going to all the towns and talking to the NPCs. It's been kind of weirdly bugged over the past few years, and you know how if you've never talked to an NPC before, it's like they have this question mark above their head, but then like once you talk to them, it's supposed to go away, but it's still there. And so, yeah, I would say all of these are basically done. All I care about is the energy. If I get to 2 out of 2 and there's like one remaining, it's whatever. So, yeah, that's all I've been doing. I think this is the one you get just naturally playing the game and exploring different things. So I would say for new players, this is the one you would probably get done first, just naturally playing. Topography is discovering new areas and basically, like looking at different things and discovering every single node in the game, which is funny because I feel like I'm missing a few in, where is it? One is down in Odalita that I feel like I'm missing, but I don't know why. So yeah, just get all of those and discover all the nodes. Here's one tip that I would give to all of you guys. So if you're a new player and you're wondering, how do I discover all the nodes? I don't know where it is. I don't want to use a guide. So for example, let me see. Let's pick a node that I don't have, marked. So let's say you want, this ocean node right here, but you don't know how to get it connected, right? So let's say you want this one. You would click the previous node, and it'll mark all these, whether or not you have discovered the node as well. So like, let's say you were over here. You can find a little beacon of light, and then it'll show you like this one is connected to this one, and then you can connect this one to that one. Even if you don't have it discovered, that's one way to find it. So yeah, there's always the one tip of just clicking the previous node over here, and it'll just pop up with a few of them that, regardless of if you have it discovered or not, you should just be able to find where every single node it is. That's what I did for morning light stuff, and especially when part 2 came out. Just click on various things and then it'll show you. Okay, so that's how you discover all the nodes, and that one should be pretty easy. The ocean, you kind of have to like enjoy sailing, which you do eventually if you want all the energy for. So yeah, it's one of those things that you'll probably get by playing the game naturally as well, even though you never really have to go into the ocean. But it's very easy if you do bartering. Just go like exploring everywhere. Most of it is down here. So there are a few ones that I feel like I'm missing. Like I could open up more of the ocean. You see how there's like random spots here. A few more things, but down here and then here. So let's go sailing. It's actually kind of chill if you've ever done sailing before. Ecology. This is probably the one that people are going to be spending the most time on, because ecology obviously means more energy, and that's good. So here's one thing that I would recommend a lot of you guys doing. So let's say you're, doing all this. The reason why they're not blue for me is because I just stop once I get max energy for the area. So for example, let's take this one. Let's say you were looking for certain things at Paddocks Island, right? If you have question marks here, what you could do is hit the track button, and then you could track all of the question marks in the area. And then you see how, like, on the map, for example, if you're grinding, you'll see like red dots, right? Those red dots will turn blue, and then those will tell you that those are the targeted things that you have done. So wherever you're marking your knowledge for, and then you could disable like individuals or all of them. It's one of those things, as long as you're in a general area, it's good to find all the blue dots or the question marks that you have undiscovered, and then you figure that out over time. So yeah, that's one of the things that I've been trying to do over time, slowly but surely. There's a few more things that I'm missing, like various beasts that I have to go out of my way for, but it is what you have to do for the overall grind. So yeah, I would say ecology is a lot of the overall knowledge, and you should probably start doing this earlier than later, because let's say you're a new player doing this, you're just discovering knowledge early on, and it's like, oh, cool. But if you're doing this at endgame, you're just like, oh, I could be grinding, or I could be doing literally anything else, and you feel like you're wasting time. But that +1 energy notification on your screen is extremely satisfying. I don't really know how to describe it, but it's nice to see that +1 energy. All right, so adventure logs. This one is also something that will probably take you a lot of time, because some of them are amity games, and I know that's kind of like an outdated system. I really hope one day that Pearl Abyss actually updates their amity, and basically you talk to them and then play the mini game. But overall, some of these are just kind of adventure logs. You get them by questing, just talking to NPCs. And so it's like, you know, all those side quests that most people skip in the game, that's adventure logs. So eventually you got to do it. Some of the annoying ones, especially like the ones that, one that I did the other day was one of the adventure logs over here. And then it's just like, you get all of these by just talking to NPCs, and there's some that's called like amity games, but yeah, you'll find out. Just, it'll tell you, it's like, here, this one is through dialogue, or this one is through an object that you talk to or discover in the world. So yeah, it's like all those small things. One of the websites I would recommend is like Video Codex. Is people just post screenshots of everything. And so it's like, if you have a few hours of just chilling and you don't feel like grinding or life skilling, just go for energy, because that's what I do every now and then. And that's how you finish it up. So this one probably takes a longer time overall, because some of it requires energy. And then same with academics. Yeah, this is actually something that I have to do. This is probably the one I'll do next at some point. So amity games. If you're a new player, you probably have never had to do an amity game in your life. But if you're not, let me show you how it works. I have an old, outdated guide that I made years ago, but I should probably remake it, because it's like the entire system has been reworked, but it's not really better. The amity game's still terrible. So you see this amity number right here, right? There's two ways of increasing it. There's the lazy way, where you can, you know, F5 and then just wave it. You get +3 amity for 3 energy. That's the safe way of doing it. If you play the amity game, which is the conversion, you pay energy, and it's kind of like picking some stuff. So I'll just do an example. This is not like an optimal thing. I'm just kind of showing you how it works. So usually, you know, when you make a character and it tells you like, hey, what constellation you want, I'm convinced it actually gives you a bonus based on if you have the right one, but ultimately that doesn't matter. So anyway, you see this like 4 circles right here, right? You'll see 4 like faint circles. Basically, you pick the knowledge of this game, and then so it'll tell you, what do you do? Requirement, talk freely to this guy, right? And so what you want to do is look at the combo. And then also you want to see the interest percentage, higher is better, and also favor. Favor is how many amity, like number points you'll get. So for example, if we take this one, you put 1 out of 4, and then if you want to combo it with like multipliers and everything, you would pick some things that also give it. So like after 2 turns, this will give you that. And then if you want more points, you get more with 100% favor, and then it combos with a lot of other things. So you kind of want to just look at things that give you the most amount of points. So we could do that, right? And then you see like the happy face is a success, and then sometimes it's not. So you look at that number over here, right? And then accumulated favor and minimum favor, you'll see how you got 70 amity points. And then if you keep talking, it's like playing the game again, but it's multiplying your amity. So you could take 70 now and start over, or you can keep talking and then it'll tell you another requirement. And so you just like start multiplying these numbers, and then 35, 38, 40, it doesn't really matter. Well, it does if you're min-maxing it. But then yeah, so it's kind of one of those things where you just look at the highest number, and then you see how this one is like 33%. Kind of don't really want to take that one. You want to go as close to 100 as you can. And so yeah, like I don't know what the right route for this one is, but I just kind of showed you how it was. And you can play it a total of 3 times per like energy cycle. So you see how we had 70 the first cycle. If you played it again, you could like multiply that. But if you get like a stupid requirement quest and you take it and you don't do it, you lose all the points. So basically, usually 3 is the maximum. You get like a huge multiplier, but you also have to get that one. So just for the sake of doing it, like that's how you get amity. There are some NPCs that are very annoying to do. So that's kind of like you just hit the F5 like 400 times and then you finish it that way. And then amity, you see this, sometimes they give you knowledge of stuff. So TLDR, that's how you do the amity game and get knowledge of various things through all the NPCs over the world. It's kind of a very tedious and time-consuming thing because you have to have a lot of characters to do it, and then a lot of energy. So it's one of those things. Life skills and all of these don't give you energy, but it's kind of good to know. So here's what I'd recommend. For all of you who are going for ecology, there are some pets you can do. I don't personally have all the maxed out knowledge ones, but like the birds that give a higher chance to gain knowledge, you get those, and then you just do it over time and you get more knowledge. S ranks are good, right? So I don't know, like, do you need these? Not particularly, but if you get them over time, just level up the birds and then they give you more knowledge. But I don't really go out of my way of min-maxing it. Some other things that you could do, I believe the glasses, yeah, knowledge is from the glasses. They have given those away for free so many times. And then the earrings they have also given away for free just through events over time, so you make sure to equip those. There are some foods and consumables that I know that give it, but I just kind of use this from like years ago that I've gotten. But I think there's actually some sort of foods that you can get in game, like through the central market, that give knowledge and higher grades. So that's one of those things when you're just going for ecology, you kind of just push over time, and that's what I would do. Also, I believe there is, what is it? There's a different food, isn't there? Don't remember. Yeah, oh yeah, so simple cron meals is higher knowledge gain and everything, so that's important to use. Okay, so with that said, that's how I did it. Ecology is just grinding, basically finding different targets, getting the knowledge of that. Characters, topography, discovering nodes, talking to NPCs. You get that naturally by playing the game. Academics is when you use your energy for amity games and dialogues and quests. So that's why I've always talked about over the years, even if you don't play a lot of your characters, just kind of have them collecting energy if you ever do mini games in amity. So you'll just get them over time without having to use like energy potions and all that stuff like this, and then herbal medicines. It's kind of one of those things. So anyway, yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about. If you have any questions on certain things, I might be able to help point you in the right direction, because I know a lot of these are kind of out of the way. And so if there was something that was like extremely out of the way, I probably still remember it because I had to do it. But yeah, I think the max energy without the millennial ginseng thing is, it used to be 728, and then Olvia Academy came out and you get another +6. So it's like 734 maximum without it. And then the hard cap maximum is like 780, plus you could get 20 energy from crystals. So, but yeah, that's how you could do it. But ultimately, I think if you're above like 500, that's generally good, because this food right here, the herbal medicine, gives 500, so that's kind of like the minimum you want to be at before using all these, and then that's good. So anyway, it's just one of those things you do when you have like downtime or don't feel like doing your usual routine. And yeah, with that said, that's all I wanted to talk about today. Also, real quick, today is the last day if you want to use my code for any Pearl purchases or game package updates. Yeah, so there's final day of the creator code. Always appreciated if you use my code. It's always just a small thing and never required. But with that said, thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I would love to see you come back. And that's all for me today. Peace.